Hello again. So in this lesson, we're going to be talking about writing linear equations. So what I want you to notice is in the directions, it says to write it in slope-intercept form. So think about that for a moment. What does that mean? So hopefully you thought y is equal to mx plus b, where m represents the slope and b represents the y-intercept. So the good news on question number 1 is they gave us the slope, so we could just change slope to m, and we've got m is equal to 4. And then they gave us the y-intercept, which we could change to b, so we get b is equal to 3. So that means we have y is equal to negative 4x plus 3, just substituting for m and b into the equation. So take a moment to pause the video and go ahead and try number 7. I know that my numbers are out of order, but this was the order they were in on the original worksheet. So again, we can take slope and call it m, and we can take y-intercept and call it b, and then if we substitute it, we get y is equal to 3x, and then we get plus 3/4, and that would be the slope-intercept form. All right, so moving on to the next two. So again, I'm just make a little note. We got y equals mx plus b is what we're going for. So in this case, we do have the slope, but we no longer have the y-intercept. So I'm going to show you two different ways to do this problem. And actually, I'll show you one way with question number 2 and a different way with question number 3. So with question number 2, I'm going to say I know that my slope is 5. I just don't know what my y-intercept is. So I can let x be negative 3, and I can let y be positive 2, and then figure out what b is. So that means I have 2 is equal to 5 times negative 3 plus b. So right now I'm trying to solve for b. So that means I have 2 is equal to negative 15 plus b. And then if we add 15 to both sides, then that means that b is equal to 17. The only thing is I'm not done when I do that. I've got to plug that back into this equation here. So that means I have y is equal to 5x plus 17. Now I have the slope-intercept form of that line. So the way that I personally like to do it goes back to slope. So we said slope is going to be y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now, I'm going to make the y2 the y that stays in the equation, and the x2 is going to be the x that stays in the equation. And if I multiply both sides by the denominator, that would cancel the denominator. So when I do that, this denominator cancels, and I'm going to flip the equation around to say y minus y1 is equal to slope times x minus x1. So this is actually called point slope form, and it's really important. So coming up here, I have the slope is m. I've got my x1 is 3 and my y1 is 8. So when I plug that into this equation, I'm going to say the y that stays minus the y they gave me, which is 8, is equal to the slope times the x that stays minus the x they gave me. So again, that came straight from the slope formula. So we need to make this look like y equals mx plus b. So the first thing I'm going to do is distribute the negative 4. So I have y minus 8 is equal to negative 4x. And then negative 4 times negative 3 is positive 12. That's my 1 right there. And then to get y by itself, I'm going to add 8 to both sides. And I get y is equal to negative 4x plus 20. So what I want you to notice is once I solved for y, I was totally done. So do you see that this process saved me some steps? So I'm going to be honest, it doesn't matter to me which method you use. You could use either one. They are both equally fine. All right, so what I'd like you to do is take a moment to pause the video and go ahead and try number 4. And then when I'm done working out, do the same thing for number 6. So take a moment to pause the video and work out number 4. So in this case, we have a slope of 4/3. So we're going to say y minus the y they gave me. So here's my x1 and my y1. So the y they gave me was 4 is equal to the slope of 4/3 times x minus the x that they gave me, which was negative 9. So if you remember from junior high, we would say keep, change, change. So subtracting a negative is the same as adding a positive. And then I'm going to go ahead and distribute this 4/3. So we've got y minus 4 is equal to 4/3 x plus 4/3 times 9. Now this might scare people, so I'm going to leave it out here like this for a minute. So a couple different ways we could do this. One is we could just multiply straight across, and that would give us 36, 4 times 9, over 3, and then 36 over 3 gives me 12. That's one way I could do that. Or I could say 3 goes into 3 once, and 3 goes into 9 3 times, and then if I multiply, 4 times 3 is 12 over 1. So that means that I have y minus 4 is equal to 4/3 x plus 12. And then to get y by itself, we're going to add 4 to both sides. And so we get y is equal to 4/3 x plus 16. If you ever doubt yourself, you can always plug this point back in and double check. And notice the slope stayed 4/3, so we're okay on that part. All right, so I'm going to use the other method for number 6, but you use what other method you like. Pause the video and go ahead and work that one out. All right, so we can say that the slope is equal to -1, and my x1 value, my x value is 3, and my y value is -3. So I have y is equal to -1x plus b. So plugging in these values, I have -3 is equal to the opposite of 3 plus b. So if I do the opposite of this one here, I would add 3 to both sides. And we actually get b is equal to 0. Plug that back in up here, and we get y is equal to -x. So again, it doesn't matter to me which method you use. They are both equally good. All right, so moving forward, go ahead and try number 10 on your own. Pause the video and see how it goes. So here we get the slope is m, and then this is your x1 and your y1. So we get y minus the y part is equal to slope times x minus the x part. And here's the interesting thing. When I distribute this 0, everything cancels. So essentially, this is y minus 2 is equal to 0. Now, if it asked for standard form, we would be done. But because it did ask for slope-intercept form, this is going to be y is equal to 2. So notice a slope of 0 says the y values stay the same the whole time as x changes. And since the slope is defined, this is actually a function. All right, so take a look at number 8, pause the video, and hopefully we can answer that. That's probably one of our favorites. So slope is m, y-intercept is b, so we have y is equal to -2x minus 7, just plugging that into slope-intercept form. Hopefully we're doing good with that one. I would love to say, do you have any questions? But this doesn't give us that opportunity, but hopefully you can ask your questions by email or in class. All right, so I added these. That's why they're A and B instead of numbers, because the examples never gave me anything where I had 2 points. And so if you notice, what's missing is the slope, and the slope is needed no matter what formula we use. So the first thing we're going to need to do is find the slope. So remember, that's rise over run, and rise rhymes with y's. So if this is my x1 and my y1, this is my x2 and my y2. So I'm going to take -5 and subtract 5, because that's y2 minus y1. And then I'm going to take 4 and subtract -1, because that's my x2 minus x1. So I'm going to change these to plus the opposite, just to keep it in addition. So for my numerator, I get -10, and for my denominator, I get +5. And -10 divided by 5 gives me -2. So then the next thing I need to do is either the substitution method or the point slope formula. And I can just pick either one of these points. They are both points on the line, otherwise I've done something wrong. Sorry, I had another visitor. So like I was saying, they are both points on the line, so both of those points should work. Typically, if I had a positive one where there's no negative signs, I would pick that one because I would make less mistakes. or like down here, there's a 0. I love zeros because it cancels things out. This one doesn't have that, so let's go ahead and pick one. So I'll just pick this one because it's closest to my work. So I'm going to say y minus the y part is equal to the slope I just found, which is -2, times x minus the x part. And again, make sure the -5 and the +4 come from the same point. So then if we keep change, we're going to go ahead and distribute that 2. So I have y plus 5 is equal to -2x plus 8. And then I'm going to go ahead and subtract 5 from both sides. And I have y is equal to -2x plus 3. And if you don't believe me, you can check this point. So is 5 equal to -2 times -1 plus 3? So -2 times -1 is +2, and +2 plus 3 gives me the 5 that I was looking for. So that one actually allows me to check my answer. So go ahead and pause the video and try B. So your slope should be 2 minus 0 over 9 minus 3. Now, if you change that to 0 minus 2 in the top, that's totally fine, but go the same direction for the bottom, so that would be 3 minus 9. So here we get 2 over 6, and then if I reduce that by 2, that gives me 1/3. So I have a slope of 1/3. Then again, I'm going to pick a point that I want to pick that's going to give me good values. So for example, I want my x value to be divisible by 3, which in both cases that's true. And then I picked this one because it has a 0 instead of a 2. And when I add or subtract 0, it disappears. So I've got y minus the y part is equal to the slope of 1/3 times x minus the x part. So on this left-hand side, y minus 0 is just y. And then I'm going to go ahead and distribute the 1/3. So I get 1/3 x minus 1/3 times 3. So you can either recognize that 1/3 of 3 is 1, or you can go ahead and do 1/3 times 3 over 1. You get 3 over 3, and 3 over 3 is just 1. And so we get the equation y is equal to 1/3 x minus 1. If you don't think it's right or you have a little question, go ahead and plug that second point in. So we want to see, is 2 equal to 1/3 times 9 minus 1? Sorry, 1/3. And so we get 2 is equal to 3 minus 1. 3 minus 1 is 2, and so we know that we did that right. So that is the end of today's lesson.